I'm on this. Okay.
What a great way to start. Hello, this is Linda West. I'm with Pati Maez, and today you're going to learn how to listen and see without eyes and ears. I remember the first time I heard Pati Maez say that phrase, and I had to actually stop and think, what the heck is she talking about? Well, today we're going to learn, and it's a really interesting topic, and I want you to share in the comments. If you're watching live, do hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. And you might notice that we have an interesting start time, 11:11 a.m. I decided that I'm going to start my shows at 11:11 a.m. And the reason for that is because that's my angel number. If for those of you who know about angel numbers, you know what that means. And for those of you who don't, maybe Pati can help me explain it a little bit, possibly. But look them up. It's really interesting. I started seeing the numbers 11:11 on cars, like license plates. I see the time 11:11 a.m. and 11:11 p.m. almost every single day. So I started seeing it all over the place. And I thought, it'd be kind of fun to do our show at that time. But today we're going to talk about Pati Maez, the amazing, amazing Candid Coach. Pati is somebody, I met her several years ago. And, oh, wait, hold on. Let me put us on the screen. What am I doing here? Hold on. Bear with me. Get that. There we are. Hi, Pati.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Linda. Thank you for having me here today.
Yes.
It's exciting.
Well, I'm excited to have you here because I met you about 3 years ago at a networking event, I think it was. And you can tell this story, in your way, of course, because we all have our own interpretation. And this is like one thing that Pati and I talk about a lot is that we all have our own interpretation of things, right? Because what happens to me, it could be the same exact thing that happened to you, but you interpret it differently because we all have different lives, the stories that we have. So I met Pati at a networking event a few years ago, and it was during I think it was in 2016, if I remember correctly. In 2015, I faced a fear every single day, and I was growing so much and growing rapidly. And I was utilizing some of the skills I had learned during that year of fears. And when I met Pati was when I was like tapping into those skills and how do I tap into those skills and utilize them in a networking event, right? So Pati, why don't you share your side of how we met?
Well, it was really interesting because when we met, Linda, we had to stand up and, that whole networking thing where you stand up and you say your name, and you tell who you are. And Linda said, I am Linda Sunshine West, and I'm in transition. And she just paused. And it was like, okay, all right. Yeah, that's interesting. And so anyhow, we met after that. And it was interesting because Linda was very, very, I can't even describe how you were.
Was she?
And yeah, she was, right? That's not the Linda I saw. So what happened with me was I was talking with someone asked me a question, and Linda said, what? Whatever it was, I don't even remember. All I said was, ooh, this woman. And I turned, and because I was so grounded and so clear about who Pati Maez is and what Pati Maez was doing, I looked at Linda. I looked at you, Linda, and I said, wow, I saw this tender, loving heart. And I said, I want to get to know this woman. I wonder how I could serve her. Right? It wasn't about getting something from you, and so anyhow, our relationship, we had a long conversation, and then we kind of weaved into each other's lives, and I supported you in, posting things about you because I said, this woman has ganas. She's got guts. She's got the will and determination, and I know there's tremendous fear there, but she's stepping through it. She's taking action. And I just felt this tremendous faith that you had, and with action, which is my hashtag faith with action, right? And
Right.
So that's what drew me to you and continues to draw me to you because of that faith with action.
Well, thanks. I will definitely use that as a testimonial.
Linda's all about the testimonial. I love that.
That was not the intention at all, of course. No. But, one thing that happens is when Pati and I get together, we talk about, we go all over the place. Like we're both kind of like, all over the map, because whatever happens, when Pati was just talking right now, I'm going to share with you really quick. When you were just now talking, Pati, it brought something to mind for me. And that is that, when we're going through changes in our lives, like I had been going through drastic changes, breaking through a fear every day, I will tell you that will change your life, right? So I was going through all these changes in my life. I had lived as a very quiet person in the background. Some people would probably say you weren't quiet. Well, once you get to know me, I kind of, come out of my shell. But I used to like be the person who was in the background and was really scared to say things. So when I was going through this transition, I turned into a different person. And part of the process of going through that growth, learning who I am, sharing who I am with the world, part of that process rubbed some people the wrong way. And so Patti is a great example, right? She's like, I'm not really too sure about this woman, but there's something there. And actually, one of my clients even told me that, currently one of my clients, she said, you really rubbed me the wrong way when I met you. And
I remember her saying that.
And I was like, really? I felt like horrified.
Yeah.
And I had rubbed somebody the wrong way. But what I realized later is it was because I was going through this transformation. And somebody close in my life, Patti, who, while they were going through a transformation, I noticed too that they were rubbing me the wrong way. And I think it's just part of the process. What's your thought on that when people are going through transformation?
Well, so my feeling on that is that when someone's in that transitional state and they're moving into when I hear you say transformation, it's that you realize something within your core. You felt something, you changed something shifted in you, something changed. And that transformation, what happens next is suddenly you start to see it outside of yourself. You start to notice, wow, why is that person being that way? Or, oh, that person's doing that. Or this is happening out there, because you have adjusted that in your own system. So suddenly it's everywhere for you to notice, to see how you're being. Are you centered, aligned, and grounded? Are you breathing? Are you, it's just a way to pause and notice, because it happens frequently to people who've transformed. And they wonder, what the heck? Why is that happening? So anyhow, yeah.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. So let me ask you, because I know you have the Maez method, which we're going to talk a little bit about today, as well as the 7 spiritual essentials for business success. But so you work with a lot of people. You help people go through transition. This is one of the things that you do in your practice. And so while you're helping them go through this transition, do you teach them techniques so that maybe they won't rub as many people the wrong way along the way? Or what's your thought on that? What are you thinking?
So what I do is, first of all, in these 7 spiritual essentials, I feature the Maez method, which is a breathing technique that helps you go through the 4 C's, I call them. Helps you get clear and aligned and grounded into yourself, centered, aligned, and grounded. There's another acronym, CAG, right? Centered, aligned, and grounded. And so how about we start with that, Linda? How about I do just do a little presentation of this breath work to kind of give an example physically.
Yeah, let's do that, Patti. And before we go there, I want to just share a couple of the comments that are coming in. I want to thank people who are watching. But then also, we're going to keep the screen up here. So I play along. I don't know what other term to use, but while Patti is going through this exercise, also, Patti, I'd like for you to draw me a card and we'll share with people what that means. But as we're going through this, I'm going to go through it with her, but we're going to invite you guys to join us on this. Okay. So make sure you're in a nice, quiet place where you're going to be able to pay attention to what Patti is sharing. And you will see some sort of shift if you have an open mind, open heart, and open soul to it. So I want to thank Thomas. Of course, Thomas is awesome. Can't wait to hear this. Awesome, Thomas. Thank you for tuning in. And Laura, she found us. Yay. Congratulations.
Yay, Laura.
Well, she
Thanks,
says not
Thomas, for being here.
Not seeing anything. Are you seeing us now? Okay, it looks like she's got it. Okay, you guys, I want to thank you for watching, and please share this out. Share Patti's message with as many people as possible. We want to get this out there because what Patti does is the technique that she uses. She's used it on me many, many times, and I'm always grateful and appreciative of her for this. But this technique that she uses, we all have overwhelm. We all have things that are going on in our lives. We all have people in our lives that are trying to direct us different ways, right? So we have all this going on in our lives. Yeah. But what Patti teaches us is how to get present in the moment right now, not letting the past or the future affect what's going on with you right now. So this technique that she's going to take us through is just part of her of her 7 spiritual essentials. It's just part of it. But this is one that's really helpful to help you get grounded. So let's go, Patty. I'm going to mute myself. And then you guys, make sure you're sitting in a nice quiet place where you can, do this with us and get ready. The floor is yours, Patty.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Linda. I didn't expect to do this, folks, and I always love doing this because
okay, so I'll share that again. I always put people on the spot. This is the way I roll. This is what I do. I do it in my mastermind all the time. And this is just the way I love to operate. So, Okay, Patty, let's go.
All right, here we go. All right, so everyone, take a moment and just put your hands on your lap and just sit with a back, straight back. And remind yourself to keep your shoulders relaxed. Just lower your shoulders. And I'm going to start with asking you to bring all of the past, everything, I call it the left arm, everything that happened in the past, even right before you got on this call, even, oh, I can't find the video, or where are you going to be live? Even those things, bring all of that into your psyche, into your head. Bring it all into your head. And anything, oh my gosh, I'm sitting here and I'm worried and I'm thinking about, I'm at work and I really should be paying attention to something else. Stop all that. Bring that future worry and all those concerns, bring it. And I call that the right side of our body. Just bring those two together and put them into your head. Just physically start to do this. Imagine the left and the right side, your future and your past. Bring it into your head and cap it into your head. And notice all of the stuff that's still floating around. Grab it. Just reach for it and grab it. You'll ultimately end up doing this without physical, because you can imagine it. So bring everything into your head and mix it in with your brilliance. And you are brilliant. I trust that. I know that. I believe that emphatically. I have faith in that you are brilliant and you have intelligence and you're genius. So mix it all in with the past and the future worries. And once you lock it all into your head, bring all that down. Just bring all of that juicy, good, crazy, funky stuff into the front of your heart. Your heart space is your heart space is unconditional love. It is where your passion and all of your enthusiasm, all of that juicy, joyful stuff is in your heart space. So mix it in with your heart. Your head and your heart are now engaged and they're merging, they're fusing. It's like an alchemist, right? All of this chemistry is coming together. Then you tap to unlock. You unlock your core essence. And your core essence is your gut. The old saying, trust your gut? This is where it comes from. It is your gut, your core essence, every organ that filters everything in, filters everything out naturally. And what happens when it's filtered in and filtered out, it depends on how you are feeding it, what you're feeding it physically, emotionally, mentally, and with food and water. So what you're feeding your body is going to be filtered either slowly, sluggishly, or it's going to be filtered naturally and processed through, digested naturally and comfortably, and you'll have a smooth movement. So speaking of movement, we brought everything in, we locked it in with our heart, we opened our core essence, and herein lies your intuition. Trust your gut. Here's your intuition. Now, people have come to me and have said, hey, Patty, I'm an empath and I take in everybody's energy and all these people are giving me all this energy. And I say, take a deep breath. Be in your maze method. Be in your maze bubble, right? My bubble is this beautiful blue bubble. Linda's is probably blue because she's all about the blue. Yours may be purple or iridescent or white, or I don't know what color yours is. And by the way, anything I say is information. It's messages for you to hear, to take heed possibly, and notice how your body responds or reacts to the messages. It's not your truth, it's information messages. Okay, so now that we've unlocked our core essence, we want to take a deep belly breath from here. I usually do it before, but I wanted to go through the demonstration for you to see how the breath helps you get clear. So close your eyes if you're comfortable. If you're in a safe place, please don't do it while driving. That won't work. Okay, so take a deep belly breath into your belly. And if you notice that your shoulders are going up, for those of you that still have your eyes open, if you're breathing like this and your shoulders are going up, remind yourself to lower your shoulders, touch your shoulders, or put your hands in front of your belly. And it may sound a little chaotic, but now we're going to go into the deep breath. Breathe into your belly, making your belly, extending your belly as big as you can, making it a big balloon. And then release it. Slowly. Deep belly breath. Take a little more in. Slowly release the breath. Another deep belly breath, filling your whole body, taking that breath all the way up to the top of your head and all the way down to the soles of your feet. And notice your body. Another deep belly breath, filling your whole body with this breath. Now imagine a boat at the top of your head. Notice this boat. It could be a cruise ship, a kayak, a canoe, a little motorboat. Just notice it. Ask permission. Ask if you could enter this boat and offer gratitude once you step in. And envision this beautiful little stream and this tiny waterfall, gentle stream and waterfall, and it takes you down into your head and you go down into your body and the streams and the rivers and the canals of your body. Travel around and keep breathing gently. Notice your body. This is a time to step back and just notice. No negative or judgment or criticism. Allowing yourself to be present. There may be sounds, words, pictures, colors. Just notice. Now go to the first place that's calling for your attention in your body. It could be your big toe, it could be your heart, your head, a pain on in your lower back. Just notice. Go there and ask for a message. What is your message for me today? And just notice what comes through. Now offer gratitude. Say thank you, thank you, thank you in your own words. I love you, thank you. And cruise on through the rivers and the canals of your body and go all the way down to the soles of your feet. Take a deep breath, dock your boat, offer gratitude. And slowly take another deep belly breath. And open your eyes and come back. Now, this is a taste of the Maez method, the process that I walk you through, guide you through. And there's so much more to it. Obviously, there's insight that comes through. There's, a deeper connection. And only you know what was there. And when you're in your truth and when you're in this centered, aligned, and grounded place, you'll notice whether or not you're being conscious or not. This opens up a door or a window for you to expand. It awakens this new light, this new place for you to be present to. It's a beautiful way for you to engage with nature, to engage with other people from this very quiet place. And so what we'll do next is talk about what you experienced. What were the messages? What was the information? And we help you, between the two of us coactively, we connect those dots. We connect the messages you received. We connect where you felt that in your body. I trust and believe the body tells the truth. The body gives clues and messages. It offers insight. And usually when the body is experiencing a disconnect, it's in a reactive state when you're in not feeling well or you have this pain in your body. It's from what has already taken place. It's a cumulative of all that happened before, and suddenly you will find yourself, you'll relax, you'll return home from vacation, you'll pause after an earthquake or some type of anxious or panic attack. You'll relax and your body will tell you what's going on. So I say trust your gut. Trust the messages that are coming through. Now, there's two things I had mentioned earlier. As an empath, we're all empaths. It's just levels and degrees of empathic responses or reaction that we have. As empaths, we do feel and sense a lot of energy around us. And you only receive that you take. So when you're in your own bubble, people are giving or offering all these energies. And if you're paying attention to their energies and taking them on, you're receiving them. But if you're paying attention to their energies and don't take them on, you don't receive them. So what I offer you is to notice from this point forward, to notice when those energies are wanting to come into your field. Now remember, you also are giving off an energy that's interfering with other people's fields. And when we're centered, aligned, and grounded in our core essence, living from this core essence, we don't have to think or worry about other people's business. So when empaths come to me and they say, Patty, how do I do this? And I say, mind your own business. Just mind your own business. It's as simple as that. Stay attuned to what you're doing and how you're being. And kindness goes a long way. Be kind to yourself as you would be kind to others. It's this ripple effect that I firmly believe happens, whether it's negative, whether it's positive, it is rippling out to the universe. So what we think, what we say, and how we act, what we do, is all preparing us for what's next. And this is all about making choices, right? What are you choosing to be? How are you being? What are you choosing to say? How are you saying it? Are you saying something that's not true, that is true? Ask yourself those things. And that helps you come back to center to say whether or not you want to continue to choose the same thing or choose something different to make a difference. So thank you so much for participating.
Yeah, that was awesome, Patty. Thank you so much for sharing that. I love it when you do the exercise of the vessel, right? So I put this here, what vessel did you visualize? So if you actually did the exercise with us and you participated, I'd love for you to, share with us, what vessel did you select? Like, I love to select the cruise ship because I love cruising. It's so much fun for me. And I actually, when Patty says to get on get on board, I actually, in my mind, I am asking the captain if I could have permission to step aboard, Captain. So
Beautiful. Yeah.
it's funny because your visualization or our ability to imagine, to have, to be playful. And I know you love to be playful in your work and stuff, and our abilities to be playful. I think oftentimes as adults, we allow that to dissipate or disappear because we have to be serious. Like, I'm an adult now, I have to be serious. I got to pay my bills. I got to do my job. I got to make money. I got to do all these different things. But really, there's still room to be playful in all those things. But there was something else you mentioned, Patty, and it was, listening to your gut. And, just sharing a really quick story here is recently something has come up in my life where my gut was saying, I don't think this is the right thing for you. And so I listened to my gut, and then my mind kept saying, well, this and that, well, what if this, what if that? But my gut still said, I don't think this is the right thing for you. Eventually what ended up happening is it got to like a final like deadline. I had to take action. It was either take action or lose out. Right. And you and I talked about FOMO yesterday.
Oh, yeah. FOMO is a big one, people. Yeah. Listen to this one. What is FOMO, Linda?
Yeah. Well, so here's what's interesting is a lot of people have FOMO, fear of missing out. Right. And now if you listen to your gut, that FOMO can't take over because you're paying attention to what really is best for you. So we came up with yesterday is focusing on major opportunities. FOMO. Yay. Focus on major opportunities, right? So with this, it gives you the opportunity to remember that, oh, this is a fear I have because I don't want to miss out on anything. But then check back in with your gut and see, is this the right thing for you? Because what happens, Patty, is when we don't listen to our gut, a lot of times what we have regrets, right? It's like, dang, I should have listened to my intuition or my gut or whatever you're calling it.
Yes. And I'd like to add to that, Linda, that's a big one because I think most people need to take heed to that, is when people say things like, my guides told me to say this, my guides told me, my spirit guides told me to say this, or my uncle, my aunt, my husband, or God told me to do this, or God told me not to do this. And I just go, whoa, God and guides and spirits and people don't tell us what to do. They give us messages, right? And even if someone is telling us what to do, take heed. Say, this is information. Listen to the information. It's a message for you to take action on your own action on what you choose that is right for you, holding yourself accountable and responsible for how you're going to disseminate, if you will, or follow through with that information. Because nobody outside of us can tell us what to do or how to do it, or no one has our truth. That's
not the problem, right? Because they can tell us, but it doesn't mean we have to abide by it. We don't have to listen to it. We don't have to act on it. It's our decisions. In the end, really, in the end of every day, every action you took was based on a decision you made, based on all the outside factors or the inside factors, whatever it is. So every action that you take is your own decision, and you can say, "I did that because," like me. I'll give me as a great example. I married my first husband because my mom told me to. Now, see, back in those days, I was like, because my mom told me to. I blamed her for my first marriage. Reality is that my mom said, you have to get married because I was pregnant and I wasn't married. You have to get married because Dad can't know that you had sex before you were married. And so, right. So I got married, but it was my decision. The ultimate, really, the responsibility lied on me because I could have said, you know what, Mom, I respect that that's your opinion, or I respect that that's what you think I should do. And I respect, you for who you are, but I'm making a decision for me in my life. And me in my life says, no, I'm not going to marry this man. But that's not what happened. What happened was I did it because, so I blame my mom. So what happens is when we do things because other people tell us to do them, what happens? We put all responsibility on them.
Yes.
We put all of that responsibility on them. That's not fair to them. First of
Well,
all,
not only
it's
that,
not fair to
it
us.
backfires.
Yeah.
It backfires.
Oh my God. Boish.
I mean, big time.
Boish. That's a new word. Boish did
Boish,
that.
boish. I know. I have a tendency to go live and get everybody to bring out the real words, right?
Boish.
Boish.
It's so true. And you know, it's
Yeah.
interesting. I want to share because Patty sent me a message yesterday. We were talking and she said, so what are we going to talk about tomorrow? And I said, I don't know. Because, because these conversations that I love to have are conversations that are based on the information that's coming up in the moment. I like to live in the present also, right? So living in the present moment, like I have an outcome that I would like to have happen. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. But, I love to be in the moment and, have the experience for what it is at the time. So, yeah, but with all that, so let's see, we have a couple questions that came in or a couple comments. Let's see what they are here. Thomas says, okay, my vessel was floating underwater in the quiet embrace of the ocean. Ooh, that's a good one.
Nice. I like that.
Amy says that's good. No matter
Amy
what it was.
Amy J's in the house.
Yeah, she's in the house. I'm talking to her a little bit later today. I'm excited to help her with something. But
I thought you guys were going to go live.
No, we're not going to go live. Not this time. Maybe we will. Okay. You never know with me, right? And with Amy, you never know. But it's like whatever Amy said, that's good too. I know that whatever it was good. So.
It was good. Amy, you're awesome. Amy J.
Yeah. Amy J. Well, one thing I wanted to talk about was, first of all, you guys head over to on Facebook, Univ of Soul. Go follow Patty on Univ of Soul. That's her page over there. But also, we're at it. Go follow me. Living Live. You're watching this from Living Live, or maybe this was shared out, or maybe. I would love for you guys to do this. Create a watch party, because those are a lot of fun. Create a watch party and sit there. I'm going to share with you really quick, just a quick tip about watch parties. Watch parties, oftentimes what happens is somebody will share a watch party. So to share a watch party, you would see this here after we're done, and you can click that share button and it'll give you an option to do a watch party. Now, here's the fun part about watch parties that I don't see people doing this very often, is that you can then, while you're watching the watch party with your guest that you've invited to watch with you, you can communicate them in the here and now, presently, like at that moment. So, for example, let's say this is 3 days from now. Fast forward 3 days from now. And someone says, ooh, I want to share Patty and Linda's live. So you do a watch party and you can watch it live with them at that very moment. And you can ask them questions. It's so cool. It's a great way. I've made a lot of friendships by doing that. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun. So just a little tip about watch parties.
Yeah, it works beautifully because it feels like it's happening in that moment.
And it is.
It is. And I love that. I love the watch parties. I'm doing more and more. So
they're a lot of fun, and you can invite people to watch them with you. So it's a really great way to go. So on this one here, you can hit that share button and invite people to watch live while you're watching live too. Or you can do it later where you have them join you on the watch party. So that's the first thing is go and follow Patty, Univ of Soul on Facebook. And then the last thing is, Patty, I want you to talk about Heart Blazers. Like, tell us what that is, what it's all about. And Patty's given me a discount code to offer you so that when she's going to share with you how you can join Heart Blazers. But if you enter the code Linda, there's a discount. I don't remember the percentage, so I won't say it. So Patty, share with us what Heart Blazers is all about and how you got started doing that.
So, wow, Heart Blazers. Heart Blazers is so near and dear to my heart. It is heartblazers.com, I call it. Heart Blazers is a group online. It's an online group, and I facilitate this group with laser-focused coaching. And it is for you to get centered, aligned, and grounded. It's for you to come and hone in on a situation or a circumstance that's going on. If you're feeling anxious or if you're feeling like you need to resolve something, I work with relationships, business, and I have a spiritual twist with it. And so we get together online once a week, Wednesdays at 1 p.m. for women, Pacific time, and Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific time for men. And a co-ed group is coming soon. I'm excited for that too. And what we do is we get on, I'll give a little bit of instruction or information. And pending how many are on, we usually give each participant 10 or 15 minutes to come in with your situation. And we take a deep breath. The rest of the group holds this divine energy. They offer incredible energy for this person to process. We go right to the core and deal with the issue and get resolved immediately. The inside is quick.
Before you go forward on that, I want you, like, maybe you can share with us a couple of examples of, like, of course, you can't say clients' names or anything.
Oh, no.
Like, what's a great example of a result somebody has received by going through this process with other people? Because oftentimes people might feel a little intimidated, right, to go through this process with other people present, like a group. Like right now, when you did the exercise, like I closed my eyes. I have no problems. I could do this in a public arena and just totally go into whatever is in the moment right there. But not everybody is like that. I didn't used to be like that, right? This is something I learned. And so what's a great result that somebody has had that you've seen them have some sort of breakthrough, if you don't mind sharing?
Well, first of all, it's that they stepped into courage and were brave enough to show up to the group. Secondly, they get support, tremendous support. They feel validated. They feel empowered. They feel that what happens in group situations is that the energy, the situation ends up pertaining to everybody. So everyone will come with a similar situation and everybody gets to feed off of each other's messages and each other's. So a really good one is there was one that a situation where this young man came and he was wanting to ask for a raise. Well, it wasn't really a raise. He was offering a proposal to a company who was wanting to hire him. And he came in and he said, I'm worth this much, but I'm afraid, I'm going to ask this little bit. And instantly what we did was we had him go inside and when I say we, I coactively work with you. So it's you and I, the client who's there. And so we go inside and what he realized was his worth. So his self-worth was very low. And when he was able to step into his worth, he realized, oh my goodness, so if I don't ask for the higher, like major higher number, I can't negotiate, because if I give them a number that's down here or in the middle, they're going to come back and say, well, how about this? And so that number is going to be lower. So he learned that his self-worth, instantly he was able to embody that worth and saw the benefit and the value of seeing himself as this person who was worth that amount of money. So anyhow, within minutes, he was able to see how he wasn't able to, it was perspectives. I call them the Maze Poppins, where we step into a perspective of, okay, you have this higher number, this middle number, and this lower number. So you can't negotiate from the bottom up, right? And you can't negotiate from the middle up. So you have to start very high and bring it down if you have to. And everything's negotiable, right?
And that's so awesome because, we talked about that too yesterday, right? Everything is negotiable. You can even go into a grocery store and negotiate, discount prices on food. Everything is negotiable. Because a price is set, it doesn't mean that it's set in stone, right? It's a set price. But what's brilliant about this and what I love about this, Patti, is that money is a barrier for many, many, many people. And so whether it's, let's say, money is a barrier, because we both work with clients, like helping them to increase their revenue as well as to increase their confidence. There's so many things that you and I do that is similar work. We just go about it a different way. And what's cool is money is a huge barrier on both sides. So what I mean by that is money can be a barrier for you as the the coach or whatever it is, whatever program you have, for you setting your value, your price for what you know you're worth, because you might not believe your worth.
Right.
So what we help you do, right, like Patti helps you do this, is to discover what your worth is, so that you will like, oh, I am worth that much. This is my time is this valuable. So that's the one side. Then we got the other side of the person who is like, let's say, for example, with Heart Blazers or with, my mastermind, you're like, I really want to join their program, but I can't afford it. So that's the other money side, right? So we've got you as the client side, but then we also have you as the service provider side, that there's money issues that you need to work through in order for you to see your own value, to see your own worth, and to see that you're valuable enough and worthy enough to sign up for somebody else's program that's going to help you to grow. So money is a very, oh my gosh, I've spent 4.5 years working on this whole money thing,
Well,
it's been amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to add something that's really important here that helped me. And I got this from my father very early on. And that is that time, and my mother, time is money. Money is time. And when we can look at money and time as centered, aligned, and grounded, as that deep belly breath, if we can look at that as, and people say money's energy. Well, everything is energy. Everything, on the planet is energy. So I say time is money, money is time. So we can look at that as not being afraid to ask for that you feel is worthy. Now, what is worthy? It's all relative, right? I've got at least 40 years of executive business experience, right? And I have spirituality. I was born and raised. My father was my first teacher. The title of this is Listen and See Without Eyes and Ears, right? And so money and time and worth are all related to all of what I've done is I've developed this program, right? Because of my life experiences in business and spirituality and all of that. And that's where I was able to grab a hold of that and make it real for me, time and money. I know I went off on a little tangent there, but it was to say, with my life experiences, I saw life, death with hospice respite care, right? At the end of somebody's life, people who had, excuse me, millions of dollars, and at the end of their life, they still don't know their worth. They still don't know their participation and contribution in this lifetime. So I learned from that money was this this perspective that either holds you back or pushes you forward. And the most important thing, and I'm going to pause here for just a second. The most important thing to remember is your value. What do you value? Who do you value? How do you value? Where do you value? And when do you value? Self-esteem is the label that I use for self-respect, self-love, self-worth, all of it, self-empowerment, self-entitlement. All of that falls under self-esteem for me. And the most important thing is to pause. Like, I was going off on this tangent because I had a million ideas or thoughts that were coming through, because I'm so passionate about helping others understand their worth, their value. And I went off. Did you notice? I went off on this little tangent. And then I realized, okay, hold on a second. I brought myself back to center. I took one deep breath. And that one deep breath can save your life in so many situations, whether it's financial, emotional, sexual. It doesn't matter, professionally, personally, relationally. Take a deep belly breath and come back. Now, we were on time and money. Your self-worth. How much are you worth? How much time have you put into your life, into your training, into your experiences, into your skills? People don't care what you do, and people don't care that I spent 40 years on my life and, you know, my business and all of that. They don't care. People want results. And if you can offer that value to people, then people will pay millions for it. But you have to be really congruent on what are you offering? And is this a short-term gig or is this a long-term gig? Is this something that you are really conscious of? Is it serving the greater purpose? Because many people can go out there and make millions of dollars. That's easy. It's easy. They're showing you how to do it every day online and social media. So pause and take a look at what is important to you. How are you participating in this lifetime? How are you contributing in this lifetime? Because at the end of life, hospice clients, they were old and young, as people would say. Some were older, some were young. And when they realized their participation and contribution and they had other choices to make, they were blown away. And it helped them to settle into themselves to go on to their next life. When they realized their importance and contribution and participation in this lifetime, then is when money didn't matter, only time mattered. So I offer this, and I'll have to replay what came through because, as Linda knows, I am very passionate, and I am, you know, just the empathy that I have and the compassion I have for people, and wanting to. The reason I do this is because I've been there. I was that six-figure person. I was that millionaire at one time in my life. I was all of those things. And what mattered most for me was my self-care, my self-worth, my self-love, and my service to others. That's more probably right in alignment with self-care, is service to others.
Well, dang, you and I could have a 4-hour show easily.
I
Or
didn't
10.
mean to go off on this like
No.
tangent, and it's really important to me for people to realize the importance.
I just meant because that brings up a lot of conversations, right? What you just talked about brings up so many. You and I literally, we could go on for hours and hours and hours. And that just brings up so many interesting conversations to bring up, which I'd of course love to jump into all of them. But what I wanted to jump into though is you mentioned about, I'm glad I was taking all these notes here, is
I love that you do that, Linda.
be congruent, right? Because being congruent on your offering, this is so important because we're guided by people. We have mentors and coaches who are guiding us, right? But still, the bottom line, the end result is the message that they're guiding you to, is it congruent with who you are? This was so important for me, Patty, because I'm what I noticed about myself, and it's like, it was good for me to notice this, is that I'm very easily swayed.
Yes.
Very easily. And it's nothing like that's a bad trait or anything. It's just that it's a trait for me to recognize so that I can tap into my gut, so that I can tap into being congruent with who I am, so I can be reminded of what my purpose is here on this planet. There's so many things that people will present to me and be like, oh, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And I'm like, yeah, because it sounds so much fun. But then I'm starting to because now that I know my purpose, I'm starting to ask myself these questions. Does this make sense for my purpose while I'm here? Does this make sense? Is this congruent with my message? And so it's really important. It's not selfishness at all. It's just that you're living your purpose. And that's what, congruency is part of that. So, gosh, you brought up some really great thoughts and stuff. But let's see, the time, it's 12 o'clock. And what I wanted to do, Patty, really quickly, is I wanted you to share with everybody what, because I wanted you to draw a card for me. So before you draw a card, you have to explain what the cards are so people know why you're drawing this card. And we don't have time for Patty to draw any other cards today, but, draw a card for me. And Patty does draw cards on her own show. So again, go follow her at Univ of Soul, and then also friend her, Pati Maez, Pati Maez, friend her on Facebook. But she has her own show. She does every Tuesday Candid Talks. Sometimes she'll draw cards, sometimes not. But the point is that I wanted her to, just introduce to you guys what the cards are, what they're all about, because it's a lot of fun for me. And actually in our mastermind, she does this almost every single time, and everybody just like loves it. So I just wanted to share that with you. So Patty, if you can draw my card, that'd be awesome.
Well, thank you. And also what I'd like to do is, you're not going to believe what your card is, but yes, you will. What I'd like to do is just do a really quick, group reading. How about you stay on for this really quick group reading?
Oh, so the group reading, is that for the people who are watching the show?
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Yeah,
okay.
for this particular time, I just went ahead and drew the cards. So, and it'll be, and I'll be quick because I do ceremony and ritual before everything I do. So,
little teaser before she does that. WomenActionTakers.com.
Yeah.
This is currently, this will lead you to our Facebook group called Women Action Takers. Next week, July 18th, all day long from 8 a.m. until I think 6 p.m. it is. I have different people, different women will be coming on and sharing some amazing tips, techniques, tools, tricks of the trade, all the teas that you need. They're going to be coming on and sharing different things with you that you can use for your personal life or your business. And Patty is one of the guests who will be coming on, and she'll be sharing, some amazing tips for you guys. So go to WomenActionTakers.com. Join us over there. It's going to be absolutely amazing. The replays will be available. You don't have to watch them all live. Of course, the more you can watch live, the better. But the replays will also be available as well in that group. So join us over there. And so, okay, Patty, the floor is yours.
And Women Action Takers is an awesome group to get insight and information. Lots of different entrepreneurial women who are successful, some who are just starting out, some who are in the midst trying to figure it out. Some, all walks, moms and executives and professionals and entrepreneurs, as I said. And yes. What does Thomas say? Patty's an executive shaman coach. Yes, I am, Thomas. Thank you so much, Thomas. I know. I own it. I embody it. I'm owning this live today. Yes. Thank you, Thomas. Linda, you just, Okay. I'll take a deep breath.
Yes. Take your deep breath. Thomas is amazing, by the way. You guys got to get to know him.
Okay. So,
okay. Yeah. So you're going to start with the group, and then.
So as the medicine woman, I will share the cards, the group cards for everyone. And yes, I got a little emotional there. And what happens when I get emotional is that the depth of joy that I carry for you and for everyone else, it just surfaces and just wells me up with tremendous gratitude.
And just to make this show a little bit longer, because that's so important, Patty, right? Because oftentimes people, when they have that emotion, like we've had this experience in the mastermind, we have in-person masterminds as well as, on screen, Zoom masterminds. But when an emotion is coming up for you, I remember my life coach, she used to always say to me, let the emotion come to surface, let it come out. And so you want to share with us, Patty, why that is so important to do that. Sometimes I had to excuse myself to the restroom just so I could have the emotion, right? I didn't want to have it at my desk. I was sitting at my desk at work. And when I worked in the corporate world, sitting at my desk at work, an emotion would come up and I would just walk quietly over to the restroom so that I could experience that emotion. So you want to share with us why it's really important for us to experience that emotion, go through with it. And you've had times in our mastermind, you taught me that if somebody is sitting in the hot seat and they're going through an emotional experience, don't pat them on the back. Don't hug them. You have to let them be in their own bubble to experience that. So why don't you share with us that? Because this is a great technique that everybody can use when they're going through some sort of emotion.
Okay, so first of all, it's really important. The breath work is very important. I call it the Maez method. And you're in your own bubble when you are breathing deeply into your body, into your belly, and you're centered, aligned, and grounded. So from that place, you can feel whatever emotion. Like a second ago, I was really touched and moved, and it's like, whoa, Thomas is sharing my life secret, right? And that is that I am a shaman. I am a medicine woman. I have been, and I work with executives, and I've been kind of quiet about my spirituality. So why it's important to share emotion? Because when we don't share an emotion, whether it's joyful, like I just experienced gratitude, a deep gratitude for Thomas and Linda, and for all of you who are here who have touched my heart, and those of you who are new, I will reach out to you and say hello, and reach out to me also, privately, and I'd like to get to know you. It's important to express the emotion because what happens, it gets suppressed. It goes into nooks and crannies of our bodies. And each of us are immune to something, or what is it called? We each have our sensitivities, or our, what's the word? It's not coming to me, but our sensitivities, I'll say. Like some people have heart issues, some people have gallbladder, some people have mental issues, brain issues. Some people have, gout and their big toe hurts and that sort of thing. So what happens is these emotions get stored in the nooks and crannies of our bodies and our psyche. And so even when we get angry, express that anger like, ah, right? Express it, get it out, and then pause, take a deep breath, and center and line and ground again. Because these emotions can cause sickness. They can cause disease. They can cause disharmony. And we want to make sure that you remain centered, aligned, and grounded. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to have issues and problems and that I'm not going to have chaos that happens. Earlier, I had a little encounter that, whoa, I just got angry. And I let myself go there, and I paused. I took a deep breath. I walked away, and I came back. And I said, wow, I understand now what made me angry. It was something that I was carrying. I was taking on somebody else's energy that was outside of me, that wasn't mine. And so that's why I stress strongly, be in your own bubble. It is yours. Anything outside of your fingertips, anything outside, just create this big bubble for yourself. Center, align, and ground with your breath. And always remember to come back to that breath. One breath, again, can save your life. So as far as emotion goes, I feel, as a clairsentient being, I sense and feel things happening before they even happen. So I get this feeling, this sensation. I used to do body work and channel people's bodies, and I could tell where there was dysfunction in the body. This one particular situation, a woman had she had a cyst in her ovary. Well, I didn't know she had a cyst there, but I said, your ovary needs to be checked out. There is something in your ovary. Go see a doctor. Well, she didn't go see the doctor, and a cyst ruptured in her ovary. Now, it doesn't mean that I walk around. This is really important too. I'm not walking around or walking into a room and zooming in and going, oh, that person, oh, and processing. No, I don't do that. I live my own life in my own bubble, and I'm not watching what you're doing and how you're doing it. I'm observing because I'm a silent observer, and I will watch everybody's behaviors and energies. Mainly it's the energies and the sensation that I'm feeling in my body that I'm really paying attention to, wanting to see how you're being with yourself. And it's up to you to decide if you're good or not, if you're right or wrong. I'm not into that good or bad stuff, right? So emotions are very important to express. And as long as you take responsibility for that emotion, like don't put it on the other person. You can tell that other person to F off if they're being nasty with you, or you can take a deep breath and say thank you. And I highly, strongly suggest that we do pause and say and take that deep breath so we won't have to cause more negativity out there. So I hope that helped, Linda.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. And again, you'll
Mhm.
follow Patty at Univ of Soul on Facebook. Patty, let's get into the cards, the
Okay,
group cards,
here we
and then
go.
my card. And then we're going to end the show. Before we do that, again, join us, ladies. Join us at womenactiontakers.com. It's a great group of women who are action takers, and you're one, especially if you click on that button and join us. So
Yeah.
let's go,
Oh, yeah.
Patty.
Okay, here we go quickly. All right. So we enter in the east. I work with the medicine wheel. We enter in the east with alligator, and alligator is integration. It's asking you to integrate everything you heard today into your life if it works for you. Only if it works for you. And it's 12:12. Oh boy. Okay. So then in the south, which is where we are now, summertime, right? The east is spring. Now we're in summertime. It's playful, be joyful. And we have a blank shield. And it's saying you are guided. You are directed to work with begin again for a blank slate. It is already prepared for you to create your own story from today for tomorrow, not what happened a long time ago, but create it from here today so that you can prepare and choose wisely today, because that choice is going to prepare you for the next day. All right, the raven, stay in the magic and the mystery of life. Be in the magic and the mystery. Go outside in nature, talk with the trees, but ask them before you hug them, may I enter your field? Do that with anybody you encounter, a person, a tree, a rock, a bird bath. Go up to the bird bath if there's a bird there, or if there's a lizard around. May I enter your field? May I enter your energy field? And some magic and mystery. So then in the north, it's hibernation, right? It's where you go in and you're all snuggy buggy. If you live in snow country, you go into your igloo. If you live in hot summer, go into this beautiful cocoon and begin again. Write your story. So write your story today for tomorrow. Then we go into the center. Here's the beauty of it. When we go into the center of the medicine wheel, this is a huge card because it's connecting all of the directions, right? It's Coyote. Coyote says, stop playing tricks with your mind. Coyote is the trickster. He's the wisest probably of all creatures, of all animals, because he makes sure that you are doing what you said you were going to do and that you're staying on track. So remember to not trick your mind, right? Stay in the gut, right? Listen to your gut. And I love that the universe is offering us eagle. The universe is saying all of this is connected to your spirit. Connect with your spirit. Your spirit is your divine. And we haven't even touched on that spirit is your little girl that was, that little boy that was, that is still here living here. My little girl sits right here. She's right here right now. And she's enjoying everything that's happening because she knows that I'm centered, aligned, and grounded, and that I'm being in my truth, that I'm sharing from this core essence of everything together. And lastly, Linda's card. Linda's card is the snake. The snake is transmutation. You're either just either in the egg with a cracked shell coming out of this egg with this whole new awareness, this whole new awakening. And there is something great that's happening right now that not everybody knows is coming. But there's something really huge happening with you, Linda. And the other thing is that you could be in the state of shedding the skin, right? Cracked eggshell, they're all similar, right? Transmutation. It's that transition into this new transformative state that's happening, this new business venture that is happening. And so in shedding this skin, do this little dance, just find yourself moving about and just really feeling your feminine essence. And I know that goddess and femininity isn't part of the plan, it is the plan. You have been born into this feminine body. You no longer have to protect yourself or shield yourself from all of those energies or all those people that are telling you how, when, where, what. Now you get to embrace accountability and responsibility for all the choices you're making today. After pausing, you pause, you make a choice, because it's going to prepare you for the next choice and the next choice and the next choice. So just be really conscious of slithering out of that old skin. Who cares what people think or say about you? At this time, be really present to who you are. Be really present to who Linda is. This vibrant, vivacious, spunky fireball who is coming out of her shell on a greater scale.
Awesome. Oh man, I love that. You know why? Because it seems that, and I think I told you this the other day, is every time you read a card, it's something I actually experienced earlier that day. And I did experience that exact thing just earlier today. So it's perfect. It's always perfect. The cards always seem to be in alignment with whatever's going on. So that's really cool. But you guys, I want to invite you again, join heartblazers.com, go to heartblazers.com, at checkout, enter the code Linda, LYNDA, and you'll get a discount. Join Pati in our heartblazers.com group. It's an amazing place, platform for women. There's a women's group, and then she also has a men's group. And so go check it out. It's a great place for you. Pati, with that said, I think we've been over an hour. And I want to share with you guys really quickly, something I've been working on. It's constantly evolving, right? We all as humans are constantly evolving, but sometimes we need to check into that evolution to see, is it serving me?
Always, yeah.
Yeah. So I've been doing a lot of that, especially lately, just like, is this really serving me? Is this really serving me? Because if it's serving me, that means I'm serving the planet properly. If I'm in service, then the right service, that I'm serving properly. So I've been working on my 30-second commercial, which changes all the time because I'm constantly evolving. And the reason I'm sharing this is because I think oftentimes people think that I need to get that one 30-second commercial, the one that I do everywhere. But that really kind of puts you in a box and that limits you. And that's why I'm sharing that, because I'll share with you guys mine that I came up with, and it'll probably be different next week, but that's okay because I'm ever evolving, right, Pati? Ever evolving. Yeah. So my name is Linda Sunshine West, and I created the Women Action Takers Mastermind Accountability Program to help driven female entrepreneurs gain confidence to ask their worth, clarity to attract clients to them, and focus to make progress faster. Amanda tripled her income and got off of government aid in 1 year, and Sheba got a $20,000 raise and also got off of government aid. My mission is to positively impact 500 million women on this planet, and it starts with one. That one is you. So you guys, with that said, this is Linda Sunshine West with Living Live. Go ahead and like my page over there, Living Live on Facebook, and follow Pati also on Univ of Soul, and join her heartblazers.com program. You're going to be really, really glad that you did. Have a great day, Pati. Love you so much. Thank you so
much. And thanks everybody for being here.
Yeah, we'll see you. Bye.
See you on the path.
Yes.